everyone, it's Kristie here from KP Creatives with another video for Two Scrapbook Friends. Today I am going to be playing around with the Hearts in Bloom Triple Slim Layering Stencil from Tailored Expressions. I love the layering stencils from Tailored Expressions, whether it's the Create and Quads or the Triple Slims or just their regular 6x6 layering stencils. They are awesome, so easy to use, and if you haven't tried them, I hope this video will give you a sense of how they work. So this one is Hearts in Bloom. You can see here there is a series of 4 stencils, and you stencil each one on the same piece, and you end up creating these 3 beautiful cards. The cards I'm creating today are for International Women's Day, which is coming up in early March, to celebrate all the talented and brilliant women in my life. In order to create those cards, I'm using this fantastic mini strips set from Tailored Expressions called Lifesaver. I have a few of the mini strips and the simple strips from Tailored Expressions, which I'll use to create cards for this year's International Women's Day. I thought this Lifesaver set was really great. Now you can take a look on the Two Scrapbook Friends website. If they don't have the one that you're looking for, send an email to the store and they'll let you know if they can get that and order it for you. So for these 3 cards today, I'm going to be using the sentiment, "You are awesome," "You are a lifesaver," and "Heroes wear scrubs." I have a few people in my life that are nurses, PSWs, and I thought these sentiments would go great for their cards to celebrate International Women's Day this year. So that's what we'll be using for our sentiments. I've cut those out of Neenah Solar White 110-pound paper and stamped in Versamark Onyx Black ink. Now for our stencil, I have got a piece of Vicki Boutin Foundations paper cut at 10 1/4 across and 6 inches down. Now, if you wanted the paper to match the size of the stencil exactly, you would cut your paper at 10 1/4 by 6 1/4. I wanted to get 2 sheets out of one piece of 12 by 12 paper, which is why I did the 6 inches. And I don't think that will be an issue because I'm using my waffle flower stencil mat and I've got my piece of paper tucked right in the corner, and I'm going to tuck the stencil right in the corner as well. So we should be good to go. I've got my Gina K blending brushes, which I use for ink blending dye inks, and I've got a series of inks from Pink Fresh Studio. We're going to use Fresh Pear, Soft Lilac, Candy Violet, and Coral Reef. And I thought this would create a great pattern on our with these stencils today. So let's get rolling here. I'm going to get started with the Fresh Pear ink. So we'll get things all set here. Got our Fresh Pear here, and we're going to ink that up. And here we go. So these stencils are so cool because you go around with your inks, you do 4 times, 4 different colors. You don't have to do different colors. You could do all the same color and use, you know, heavy hand with ink, light hand with ink, and you'll get great variations in your stencil. The other thing, oh, I just lost my blender brush clip there. These clips are great. They're from Make It by Marco, and they're excellent if you have a set of brushes that are all white or all black. You just pop these little clips on, and then you know which ones would, I mean, obviously you also know by looking at the brushes, but when they're brand new, you want to be able to keep track of that. Oh, I lost my train of thought here. Oh, right. Yes. So you could do variations of ink just by using one color, as I mentioned, whether you use a heavy hand or a light hand when you come in with your blending tool. Really great to be able to mix it up. But, you know, the opportunities with these layering stencils of what you can create are so fantastic. If you can get them for like the holiday ones, they're just so cool. And how they come together, they make you look like a crafting genius, and all you're doing is following a stencil, and I love that. So we're almost at the end here of the greens. Almost ready to pack up our Fresh Pear ink. And that looks great. So again, I really recommend using the waffle flower stencil mat for something like this because you can keep things tucked in that corner and it doesn't move. So I've gone pretty light-handed with the Fresh Pear ink. It is a really light minty green, but I want the flowers to be the star of the show. So I am good with that. I am going to put this stencil on a piece of paper towel, and I'm sure you've seen this in videos from Carolyn before. She introduced us all to the rubbing alcohol spray, and it is great to be able, I'm just going to do this off camera, spray your stencil, and I'm just going to layer the paper towel on top of it so we can keep going here, but it wipes the ink right off. So fantastic. Great find, Carolyn. Now I'm going to bring in stencil 2. I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, but there's a little etching in the bottom, and that's how you know which stencil you're using. So we're going to make sure, again, our paper's nice and tight to that corner. Put the stencil nice and tight to the corner, and we're going to move on with Coral Reef. So I'm going to put my green blending brush out of the way and come in with orange. I love this Coral Reef color, great, you know, pinky orange, and it's really beautiful. Go really nice with that Fresh Pear, the light green. So this is inking up mostly the hearts. I think there might be a couple flowers that will be this Coral Reef color along the way, but mostly this is going to be for the hearts on these cards. This is a great little stencil set to give us inspiration as we head into spring, and that makes me happy. Ready for the longer days and lots of sunshine. All right, so that part looks good. Let's move on to the middle section here. I love some of the layering stencils that have things like balloons or presents in them because you can customize them for, well, and even this one you can as well, customize them with favorite colors for your recipients, which I think is really fun, especially for like children's birthdays and things like that. Really cool to be able to do, and kids love that. They know you've put that extra touch in when you're creating their cards for them, which is really nice. All right, so we are all done with stencil number 2. Let's peel and reveal. There we go. We can see this starting to come together. I'm going to, again, take my stencil off camera, spray with the rubbing alcohol, give it a couple good spritz there, and set that off to the side. And we'll do the cleanup later. I'm not going to let the cleanup get in the way of creating. No way. All right, now I'm going to move to stencil number 3. Again, make sure our paper is right up into the corner. And I'm first going to go in with the Soft Lilac from Pink Fresh Studio. Grab our purple blending brush and let's hit it with Soft Lilac. If you haven't used Pink Fresh Studio inks before, one of the things I love about these inks is if you get the ink cubes like I'm using here, they are sold in color families. So you get, you know, the red family, the purple family, the orange family, etc., etc. And it makes it really easy, especially if you're using layering stencils like this. Like you could imagine, you could just have the green set and one other color And you could make these stencils, or you could do monochromatic designs of just, you know, different teals or different purples or things like that. And oh, they're just awesome. They go together so well. And the other thing that's really awesome about the Pink Fresh Studio inks being sold in the color families is like each of them have a dark, light, and medium tones of color. And the tones across the color families match. So for example, the soft lilac and fresh pear are the lightest tones in the purple and green families. So you can see how lovely those go together, right? So it takes out so much of the guesswork of you choosing your colors. So if you are a crafter that spends a lot of time thinking about, oh, I'm not sure if these colors are going to go together, give the Pink Fresh Studio inks a try. Because of the way they package their ink cubes, it really does take a lot of the guesswork out. And, you know, I've worked on card projects before or scrapbooking pages where I think, oh, I'd like a green, like a coral, and, you know, I don't know, pick another color. And well, let's use this purple. And I don't get the tones right. And it doesn't end up looking good altogether. But the way that they have their inks set up, you don't even have to think about it. And I absolutely love that. I think it really almost guarantees you beautiful results each time if you match within the color family or across color families in the different tones. So lots of amazing examples to work from the Pink Fresh Studio inks. All right, let's peel and reveal stencil 3. Loving how this is coming together. Really soft, muted tones, and I think this is looking pretty beautiful. I'm going to give stencil number 3 a good spritz with the rubbing alcohol. And here we are already going to go in with Candy Violet for stencil number 4. So let's get stencil number 4. Again, you want to make sure your paper's back in the corner, stencil back in the corner, and let's hit it. So we're loading up the Candy Violet. I'm not using a different color brush. I'm sticking with my purple color family brush. And let's get all these little pieces of like confetti, I guess we can call them that, as they fill in the little blank spots on our stencil. I like to use the blending brushes for this type of thing versus the foam tools. I find the brushes just tend to get into the little spaces a little easier. I find them easier to work with. But you know what? You work with whatever blending tool you like. I know there's some from other companies. Like I said, Ranger has those the dome foams. So if that's what you have, give that a try, and you might find it works great for you. All right, these little confetti pieces are coming along really fast. Just moving on to the last section of the stencil here, and we're almost done. Okay, let's get the Candy Violet out of the way. And here is our final peel and reveal. And look at how lovely those patterns are. So you could create a muted pattern, you could go really bold, you could do monochromatic, whatever you like. So many options with these stencils. So again, I'm using these for, sorry, just give me one moment while I spray with alcohol here. I'm using these for International Women's Day cards. You could do birthday cards, Mother's Day, Valentine's, anniversaries, wedding even. Like, imagine doing these in someone's wedding colors. So cool. So I just love them. I think they're a great investment and huge opportunity and versatility with them. So the card size that I am going to be making is mini slimline 3" by 6". Now, I know the card dimensions for mini slimline can vary. I like to do 3" by 6" because I find I can maximize my supplies that way. So I'm using the Vicky Bouton Foundations paper to ink blend on. I've also cut my card bases out of it. So out of one sheet of 12 by 12 paper, I can get 4 mini slimline card bases. So that's why I like to go with this size. It works really well for me, and that's kind of what I stick with when I do that size of card. You do whatever works for you. If you buy the pre-cut and scored mini slimline card bases, they may be a little bigger. So just keep that in mind as we move on to the next phase of this project. So I'm going to lift up my waffle flower stencil mat, put that over to the side to wipe down later. And I'm going to bring in the heavy duty machinery of the Tim Holtz paper trimmer. So we are going to, first of all, figure out why the paper trimmer is not even. The section on the back was just flipped down, so that's fine. So I'm going to start by cutting off the top edges here of these cards. And the finished size for the card panels that I'm looking for is 2 3/4 by 5 3/4. That's going to give us a nice size panel with a small border for our cards. And actually, you know what? I might just have these go the full, let's see. You know what? I've changed my mind. Because these sentiments are a little wider, I'm actually just going to make these panels 3 by 6. I think that will keep things really simple. Can I do that? No, I can't because they aren't that tall. What if we do 5 1/2? 5 3/4, almost. Let's leave it there, and then, oh no, I'm going to cut off a little bit. Sorry, guys. Just trying to think about the layout here in my head as we go along. I think if I cut at 5 1/2, then what we can do is put another piece of cardstock as a border, like a rose gold or something, along the top and bottom, and that will take up the whole card front. So that's what we'll do. We'll go 3 inches across for each one, so it'll take up the whole width of the panel. And then we will put a little tiny border of rose gold at the top and the bottom so that it will take up the full card panel, card base. Yeah, that's going to work great. Okay, so thanks for crafting along on the fly here. Just going to give this another little snip so that it will fit perfectly here. Yeah, that looks great. Okay, so now we'll go to the next one. And I know I want this 3 inches across, so I'm trying to line up the bottom of that heart at 1 1/2 inches. That way I know the hearts will be centered. Okay, 3. Let's do a quick check against the card here. Yep, looks great. And for our last one, and again, this heart is kind of in the center of the panel, so I'm trying to line up the indent of that heart at 1 1/2 as best as I can to get this centered. How did we do? Looks pretty good. Okay, I'm going to pause the video for a moment while I grab some rose gold cardstock, and I'll bring you right back once I've cut those for the strips on the top and bottom of our card panels. See you in a moment. Okay, everyone, welcome back. Sorry about that little intermission. So we have our 3 card panels, and I've cut some Lawn Fawn rose gold cardstock in 3 inches across by 1/4 of an inch strips so that we can fill in the entire card base of our cards, and then we will put on the Great Sentiments from the Lifesaver set from Tailored Expressions. So I'm going to bring in our first card base here, and I'm going to use my Lawn Fawn liquid glue to get some liquid glue down on the first strip of the rose gold cardstock. We're going to line that up exactly with the panel at the top border and have it go right to the edge. And then I'm going to put the stenciled panel down, and we'll put the bottom part of the rose gold cardstock down. So we'll have that full panel covered. And I think that will look really great. I do like the addition of glitter or specialty cardstock, or even just regular colored cardstock as little borders on cards. I think it just adds a really lovely detail and really just finishes off the card project quite nicely. And that's going to fit great. So we've got our bottom piece, line that up, fit in just like a puzzle. And that looks good. So we'll let card number 1 set up here. Set that up. Bring in our second card base, and we'll do the same process again. So if you've got, this is why you should never get rid of your scraps of specialty cardstock like glitter or sparkle cardstock, because you can use such a tiny little bit of it on your cards and it really packs a big punch. And I mean, gold and silver are great. They are. But the rose gold cardstock that you can get from Concord and Ninth or Lawn Fawn. This is Lawn Fawn, but the Concord and Ninth one as well. Oh my goodness. They are so beautiful and look amazing. They die cut great. So really just awesome. I'm going to switch things up and actually put the glue right on the card and see if that actually makes it easier. Not that it's terribly difficult, but see if that makes it easier for the bottom piece. Let's see here. I'm not sure. It's probably better to do it right on the little strip. Oh, maybe it doesn't matter. It's fairly straightforward both ways. And there we go. Our second one is all set there. And I'm just going to bring in the last card base. Another strip of the rose gold. And let's get this last one put together here. I love sending out cards for International Women's Day. I've been doing it for a few years now. And it is so much fun to be able to celebrate the great accomplishments and lives of great women. And I'm very lucky to be surrounded by the best of the best in terms of my family, friends, colleagues. I'm very grateful, and I love to be able to celebrate them in any way that I can. And this feels like a really great way to me to be able to celebrate all that they do in their lives, because they are certainly absolutely outstanding. So cheers to all the great women. Just amazing, amazing humans. Okay, so now we have our 3 cards almost almost set to go. I got a little bit of excess glue there, just buff that off. Okay, super. So now it's time for our sentiments. So I'm going to get some glue on each of these. We'll do this all at once so that it'll go a little faster. So we've got, again, you are awesome, heroes wear scrubs, and you're a lifesaver. And these sentiments are so great. You know, you can combine the thank you for, so thank you for making a difference. Thank you for caring for the world. Just like beautiful. Who wouldn't want a card that says that? Amazing. So I'm bringing in my T ruler here, and I'm going to also bring in my reverse tweezers. And let's get this sentiment down. Oh, I think that looks beautiful. All right, card number 2, same drill, T ruler, reverse tweezers. Let's put them the other way here on this sentiment, make it a little easier to figure out where we're going to put it. That looks great. And then we have our last one. You are awesome. I'm going to put this just near the bottom of the bouquet. Actually, I'm going to have it cross over that purple, the larger purple flower. I think that'll be good here. I was trying to put that down with the tweezers with my left hand, and that it was not working. It was not awesome. Okay. Fabulous. So I could add some bling to these cards, but you know what? I actually think they are beautiful on their own, and I was going to initially put some bling on them, but I think using that rose gold cardstock really just gives them enough bling and lets the sentiments speak for themselves. So I really hope you enjoyed this video of using the Triple Slim layering stencils from Tailored Expressions. Again, this is the Hearts in Bloom set. They also come with coordinating dies that cut out the hearts or the flower bouquet. So if you want that, then you could pop them up on your card, which should be really fun too. And again, I'm using one of the mini strips sentiment sets from Tailored Expressions. Check out these sets on the Two Scrapbook Friends website. There's a ton of them for all different occasions and all kinds of things, and they really make it quick and easy for you to mass produce some cards. So happy International Women's Day, everybody. I hope you have a great day and have an opportunity to honor and celebrate the great women in your life. Please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and you'll be notified when we post new videos. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.